and to say that as they look at this matter, they can go beyond the regional area of Kisumu Anti-Corruption Commission office and move towards the national office so that they do not deal with the people who may be causing the problem. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
The David Speaker. Give Honorable Boss the mic.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to be able to comment on the petition by the Honorable Member for Keses constituency relating to the interaction between the members of the local community and the forests around them. Even as I support his petition, I would like to add in that it is important that we create alternative sources of energy, alternative sources for cooking for those communities so that they can have options and not have to harvest the trees for cooking and other domestic issues. Just yesterday, I did launch 2 burner stoves across Uasin Gishu County that use biofuel. They use bioethanol that is made from sugarcane, which is safer than charcoal and also protects our forests because people don't have to deforest. So yes, I move to support, but also with that rider. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. The Honorable Stephen Mule.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I want to thank my brother, Honorable Vincent. He's my neighbor. Mr. Speaker, I want to brought to attention and to this nation. We served together with Honorable Vincent in 11th Parliament, whereby we engaged African Development Bank to do a feasibility study to build a major dam in my constituency to serve the lower part of Mwala, whereby they put up enough money to put up that dam. But I know because of pollution of this river, quite a lot of things never took place. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, personally, I hosted the Minister for Environment then, Madam Waungu, at Ndunyu, whereby they launched a project to clean up the Athi River to make sure that the people living in the downstream are able to get safe water. Thirdly, Mr. Speaker, last Parliament, this Parliament appropriated money, and money was found to build up the bigger Thwake Dam. I can assure you, Mr. Speaker, if this issue is not handled seriously by the petition, Thwake Dam will be a white elephant because it will be carrying the entire pollution of Athi River from Nairobi and its environment, and we cannot continue to invest in projects whereby they are going to be white elephant because of pollution in this country. I want to support Mheshimiwa Vincent, and I want to assure him we'll walk this journey. We have walked it for 10 years. These 5 years, we must get it right, and I can assure you, Mr. Speaker, we'll be looking forward for favorable determination of pollution in Athi River and all other rivers in this country to make sure that we safeguard the health and the population of Kenya from menace pollution from different factories in this country who are managed by people.
The Honorable Robert Pukose.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for allowing me to make my comments on the petition, and specifically the petition by the member of Keses, the Honorable Ruto, that, Honorable Speaker, when the committee is looking into it, we've had communities living along the forest, especially recently we've had people of Socio in Saboti being evicted, their houses destroyed, their property being destroyed, and yet in a very inhuman way by the Kenya Forest Services. And I think it is a high time, Honorable Speaker, that we must be able to look at the human rights abuses for communities which are living along the forest, where you are destroying their property, you destroy their houses, and you leave them landless and in very squalid conditions. The people, we find that also some lands which are bordering forests have been cassetted. For example, Ex-Soronson Farm being cassetted, yet people are living there, and there is no compensation for these people. So I think it is important that when the Committee on Petitions is looking into this petition, please invite us so that we can also be able to represent the views of our people and see how best, not just the people of Keses, but the people of also Endebess and Saboti, and the entire pit of Mount Elgon are assessed and assisted. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
The Honorable John Mutunga, Tigania.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity to also add my voice to the petitions. Honorable Speaker, I will specifically speak on the petition by Honorable Vincent on pollution of waterways. Honorable Speaker, we have a lot of efforts in this country, and I believe we are making these efforts to harness the water for irrigation and for use downstream. We cannot harness the water if it is highly polluted and concentrate all this pollution and allow the people to use downstream, because that will be putting people into more danger. What we need to do is to avoid discharge of waste into the waterways. We need to change even the environmental impact assessment that has been going on to look for alternative ways of discharging effluent or liquid waste. Because liquid waste, we do not have sufficient rivers around Nairobi especially to discharge liquid waste. We have to think of either burying it deep down or looking for other incineration methods other than just using the waterways, because discharge through the waterways is very, very dangerous, especially when we are planning to use this water for irrigation and for human consumption. So pollution needs to be considered afresh. The National Environmental Management Agency needs to look at this issue and come up with better ways of handling the liquid waste so that people can be safer downstream. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Protas from Loima.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, sir, I want grounds that, Mr. Speaker, the issue of pollution is the reason why Kenya is at the moment. The issue of climate change, the issue of global warming is because of because of pollution. And the organizations that have been mandated to actually to enforce some of these laws that we are making here are unable to do that. NEMA for sure has not been able to do its work. Because I remember when the issue of polythene papers were banned, some of these polythene papers were still able to make their way into Kenya through our borders in the watch of NEMA. So NEMA has to wake up and be able to do its role. Otherwise, this climate change and global warming will continue and our people will perish forever. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I support.
Makali Mulu. Honorable Makali Mulu.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I support all the three petitions, but I want to raise issues of concern to two of them. Honorable Speaker, I want to start with the petition by Honorable Musioka, the pollution of our rivers, and more specifically, at the river. Honorable Speaker, this issue of pollution of the river was raised in the 11th Parliament. It was raised in the 12th Parliament. It is now being raised in the 13th Parliament. And what I'm asking myself as I sit here, Honorable Speaker, is, has this House become a talking show? Because really, I'm sure those two parliaments, Honorable Speaker, must have resolved that some action must be taken. So even as we discuss these petitions, Honorable Speaker, I think it's important as a House we agree how do we then move forward in a situation where decisions have been made by this House and there is no implementation. On the petition of the corruption, Honorable Speaker, the pastor from Kisumu, to me I think the most important question is EACC, and there is that perception